Hi guys, welcome back to Web Development Tutorials. This is part 6. If you're just joining us, don't worry. I'll put links to the previous sessions on the description box from part 1 to up to 5. So this is the user interface that we had in part 5. Our navigation bar on top there, our little description, our Jumbotron here, and our footer. In part 6, this is the user interface we want to achieve. The navigation bar, then we should have our sliding banners, and then our little description, then the footer. So we just focus on the banner slide. I'll go ahead and open up our project folder. Let me go, this is our project folder. So we have the CSS folder, images folder, JS folder, and the index.html folder. Okay, I'll open up the index.html. All right, this is the index.html file that we had in part 5. You can see here we are our Jumbotron. Let me go to the browser. This is the Jumbotron. But in part 6, we don't have a Jumbotron. Instead of a Jumbotron, we have our slider where we can put the most important information that should be visible to our users. Okay, so we have to remove this Jumbotron. I'll go back to the text editor and I'll go ahead and remove that Jumbotron. Then I'll introduce our slider. How do we introduce a slider? As usual, we're still using the bootstrap classes. Say div, and then I'll give it an ID. I'll show you how to use this ID later. So I'll just call it banner slide. Banner slide, okay. And then we have to utilize bootstrap classes. It makes our lives easy. So I say cursor. So okay. All right. Then we'll give it another class slide. Then data right. If you take that, okay. So the data right, whenever the page loads, it says, okay, start animating the banners. I'll close this. I'll close the divs. Good practice before you forget. Okay. In between now, I have to define the actual carousel, the inner carousel class. So say div. So div, I'll give it a class. Let me close this before I forget. So it'll be carousel. Now it'll be inner. Okay. We good. The next, now we have to define the actual items that will go in between these divs that we've created. So we have to define, first of all, the active item, the one that when the page loads, people will be able to see. So give it a class. Okay, so now it's an item. At the same time, it's an active item. The first item that people will see. I'll close that and I'll close the div as well. If I forget. Okay. Next, I have now to define the actual image source for the active item. So I'll say, like from the previous session, say we use the img type for images, and I say source, SRC is for source. And I'll close this. What's the source of our images? Remember, if I can go back to the project folder, we have the folder for images. So it means the source of images is this folder. I'll go ahead and open that folder. So I want this image, which I've labeled banner 1, to be the first image, the active image, and the second should be the banner 2. Let me do that. So I'll call the images folder images. Then the name of the image is banner1.png, the file extension. I'll save this. Let's preview how this is looking from the other side. Okay, I'll open the browser and preview. Okay, so this is okay. This is okay, don't worry. So the image it can be displayed, but if you can see this image, it's hugging the walls to the right. How can we prevent this? Okay, let me go back to the text editor. I'll add a class. The bootstraps, I'll say dblock. So what dblock do? Dblock just saying the display should be a block display, cover everything. Okay. So once you cover everything, but we have a beautiful class by W100, which is with 100%. So with 100%, what it do, it makes the image be responsive to whatever container it is containing. If it's a small container, adapt to a small container. If it's a big container, adapt to a big container, but the width should be 100%. So if I go back to the browser and refresh this, boom, the image is resized properly according to the size of the container. This is beautiful. We're almost there. Okay, let me go back to the browser. From this side, we have images sliding, not just one image. We have achieved this, but what about these controllers, the next and the previous? We need to do something about it and the next image. All right, so let me go back to the text editor. After defining the first image, let's define the second image. So div as a class, it will take the same class as the first image except the active item. So just be an item, but not active. So it will be coming the next item after the active item. I'll close the div. Okay. Inside this, I have to define the image source as well. So I'll say image src. I have to close that. Then we all know it's coming from images. Then the name of the image is banner2.png. We still utilize the same classes so that our image should be responsive. So we say dblock, then the width should be 100. Dblock, the width should be 100. Okay. All right. We have this, but now we don't have the controllers to say, okay, let's see the next item or the previous item. We just have to wait for it to scroll. So let's just add the items. Maybe someone wants to go back to the previous item or go forward to the next item. We have to add those controllers. Okay, so I'll open this text file. All right, we closed the div there, the banner there, and for the collateral inner there. Now we have to open a new div for the controllers. So say div, say class. Okay, let's do cursor, control. Now need the previous icon there so that someone can go to the previous item. So we will link this href, we link this to this class. Remember ID rather, this ID banner slide. Whenever somebody goes back, it should refer to this ID banner slide. So we'll put a hashtag there and say banner slide. Okay. What's a row? If you have to take a row of a button, so it should be a button. Then we say data slide should be the previous one. So give it prev. Okay, let me close this. Before I forget, I have to close it. But one mistake that I've done, this shouldn't be a div, it should be an anchor tag. Yeah, so that should be an anchor tag. Then I have to close that anchor tag. Okay, since it's a link that can go backwards or forward. Okay, so inside this, I have to define a span there. I'll say span. So I'll define a class for this. So the class, I'll give it the same cursor, but now it'll be control, then it should be prev for previous, and then we give it should be like an icon like we saw. Then we say area hidden should be equal to true. It should be shown over here there. So I'll close this and I'll close the span. Okay, we're good there. After we're doing this, now we have to put another span there. We'll give it a class for source only. Not source here only, sorry. Then we'll close that one and we'll say previous for small screen. So that, okay, for the previous section, just do this for previous section. So I'll close the span. All right, we're good. Let's try before we do the next icon. Let's just see if the previous is there. Bang, it's here. Ooh. All right, so using the same principle, we can come up with the next. Okay, so to come up with the next, we'll just copy this block and edit to save some time. So whenever there is prev, we'll say next. Say next. So whenever there's prev, we'll just say next. Okay, I'll just say next. Where else? Here as well, I'll just say next. Okay. Yeah, I think I've edited almost. Yeah, I'm pretty sure now. Okay, let me go ahead and test this. Boom, we have the next button. So we can go next, we can go previous, we can go next, previous, or just let it slide. Okay, so basically this is what we wanted to achieve. It's able to slide, we're able to go next, the previous session slider, or the next slider. So for this tutorial, this is what we wanted to achieve. It's exactly what I said earlier using this tab or the browser. It's exactly what we have achieved here. If you have any questions, feel free, hit my inbox or on the comment section. I'll be able to help you guys. In the next chapter, I think now we have to work with the links. Whenever somebody clicks about us link, it should take us to the about us page. If somebody clicks on the admission page, it takes to the admission page. Okay. In future, we'll shift this from static website to a dynamic website where we can update things from the database or retrieve information from the database. All right, that's it for this session. See you in the next session.